All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are
Yo.
back. We got two special guests today, man. Final two. We got Xzavier Malone Key and Devon Dunn, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
two boys after you right now. I mean, one legend and a rookie. Man.
We on this joint.
What's good?
How you guys doing? Sorry, go Sal, my fault.
You good? Exactly. How have you guys been doing during this quarantine? What you guys been up to?
Man, I'm chilling, just compromising, trying to deal with what I can deal with for now. You know, all the gyms and everything. So I did what I can right now.
Trying to stay in shape, trying to keep the bodies right.
And you guys be doing like drills and stuff, right? Still, like coaches be sending you stuff.
Yeah, Coach Mo be burning me out.
Yeah, Coach Mo, yeah, he be on that for real.
Coach Hamburger. We get 1,000 texts a day. I'm like, bro.
For real.
No cat though. But those the guys though. They just want to make sure we getting better. That's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you guys came off a great season too. Think about it. So they just want you to.
This past season.
This past season, I mean, you guys were performing well. Obviously, it didn't end it like we wanted to, but nevertheless, you guys performed to your peak. And you know, with another year to come, you got more to prove. Especially Devon Dunn, man. Rookie season killed it. Talk about that, man.
Man, well, personally, like when I came in the summer, I saw the guys, saw the team, and I just tried to bring what I could to the table and try to fit in as much as possible. I didn't really want to make things like come in and make things work. I try to bring my game and add on to what we had already. Try to mesh and make our chemistry as good as possible. I feel like we had, for the most part, our season, like the first half was kind of rough. We were figuring things out, but we got on track. Obviously, we didn't finish the way we wanted to, but I mean, going into next year, I feel like we have a lot of momentum. We got the same guys back besides Caleb, a couple additions. So I feel like we're in a good position for the title next year.
Absolutely.
How do you feel like, man, you made it Division I for this? Both of you guys have a question. Like, let's go backtrack a little bit. Let's start with X. How does it feel to go like Division I, bro? Like, what was that feeling? Because I know you ended up transferring, but what was that feeling when you first like went on a division campus?
Well, when I first got on a Division I campus was probably like 10th grade. I had my first visit. I think it was to Hampton University. Yo, that visit was lit, dog. Like
10th grade though? That's crazy.
Yo, when I tell you that John was lit, yo, the coaches they had, because like Hampton is like a HBCU.
Okay.
So obviously all African Americans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the culture there is just, the energy is ridiculous, yo. Like the coaches made sure they had a group of Black Jones pull up on me and the recruits, and they just was dancing around us. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, yo. It was lit. No, I'm a cutie bean. I damn near committed off of that. I lie to you not, but I'm like, you know what?
Oh my God.
I'm dead serious, yo. No, HBCUs get like that, bro.
Nah, yeah, the HBCUs are crazy.
They
crazy.
never tell you, bro. He's NCC where Howard at, yo. Like that.
Oh my God, you're too funny.
Talking about fun, like what?
Right,
Long story short, left the campus. It was a beautiful campus, and Hampton is in Virginia. I almost committed, but I stopped myself. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna fast forward to when I wound up to committing. I committed to Rider University, which is in Lawrenceville, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
My first workout there, they killed me. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. But like, it was really like, it was hard, yo. Like, I was like, yo, this is really what hard work is. Because in high school, I was just more athletic than everyone. I worked hard, but I didn't work nearly as hard as I should have, like those current college players. So
yeah.
It was just different. Like, I was playing against grown men, like, seniors that's 22, 23. Mind you, I was 17, just turned 18. So it was different.
Previous guest exactly said the same thing. Like you would be like a star in high school. Like the competition wasn't the same. Minute you go like, especially D1 caliber, now you got competitors next to you at either your level or better than you. So, you know, talk about like what motivated you, even though you felt like you had to quit when you were getting pushed that hard.
I'm not gonna lie. What motivated me were like I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like I love playing basketball. I've been playing it since I was younger, but I also love the things that come with it. You know what I'm saying? Like the notoriety,
the clout.
yeah, the publicity. You know, people showing love and, you know, really, you know, buying into what you're doing and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
it's a great feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like any human, that's a great feeling. You know what I mean? So, and using like our platform to help others and motivate other people who are coming up, trying to, you know, go to school for free and stuff like that. So, yeah, what just motivated me was like stuff like that, wanting to get on the court to put on for my people back home in my hometown. So
that's the best feeling, right?
it's the
Just
best
coming
feeling.
back
And
home.
then when you come back home, it's like, yo, you lit, bro. Da da da. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you really a superstar when you get back home. Honestly.
yeah, just wanting to put on for my city, my hometown, and like, you know, my close friends back home and stuff like that.
What about you, Dev? How was the first feeling? I mean, it's first year after your first year coming in. Like I met you in the summer, and you look
Yeah,
like already like you've grown so much, bro. And from the beginning I met you, I had tons of respect. So what was that for
man.
you?
That's as soon as I got to campus. Well, at the high school and all that. Like in terms of AAU, I guess until my last AAU season, like in high school, I wasn't my head coach. He really wasn't. He wasn't feeling me for real. So I mean, I understood that whole situation. But when AAU came around the last year, that's when I started getting most of my offers and whatnot. So I guess what was it like? Probably that summer, probably that winter before the winter before the summer I met you. So that winter was huge because I had to take a couple of visits to different campuses or whatever. But when I first got to FDU, it was like, man, I was just trying to grow, like physically, like mentally, everything. I just knew it was just time to grow, and I knew that the stage that we were at, especially being Division One, like I just knew that I just had to grow. And
So,
in order for me to excel, I had to grow.
so compared to other schools, you felt like FDU was going to give you your best opportunity, or was it like the best place for you? You feel like what do you?
I feel like in terms of academics, I know like FDU has a good rep, but in terms of basketball, like Darian Anderson, he went to my high school, so he was in my ear telling me this, that, and the third about the school, like, and I was digging it, and the coaches they were showing love, and the players, of course, when I came to visit, man, the players were showing love. Man, me and X got close, so I mean, it was just a good fit for me personally.
Yes,
I
sir.
felt like
Guy.
yeah, I felt like in terms of basketball and social life, it would be cool, and it was cool going
That's
through my first year.
I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, like the bond, like with our team, like I feel like we all like brothers. Like you don't really see it
For
like
real,
Family type of atmosphere.
exactly.
too many different Division One programs. Like I was at Rider University. Well, I was at Rider University. We was, you know, we call each other brothers. We were all. I'm still tight with a bunch of those dudes, but there were some cliques, throughout
Mm.
the team and whatnot. But I feel like here, I could walk into any one of these dudes' room from one all the way down to, the bottom, and not feel awkward or
Exactly.
uncomfortable. Like I don't know, it's just all love. Like the culture here is just fantastic to me.
that's something I felt like. I mean, with you guys, like I'm not part of the basketball team, but from the beginning, especially when I got injured, I mean, y'all were the first people that were like at the hospital. Like my mom would always tell me the story. Like I was hugging these big dudes, like they were just showing love. Like the fact, all that love, bro, is just crazy, man. It's just
with
that's dope.
with the family atmosphere, and speaking on that, what advice would you give to like, kids that are going to become, potential D1, freshmen in basketball programs? What advice would you give them coming on, especially as student athletes? I'll go to segue into this topic. How would you manifest your time into both academics and your athletics to, give the best for your team?
Man, personally, if you think about it, the whole team. I mean, if your mind is straight, y'all have the same goal for real, academically, and I mean, of course you want to excel academically, but with basketball as well. So it's like you can do like things such as going to study hall, like getting in the gym extra, like with the X. I mean, if you think about it, yeah, you want to be better than the next person individually, but at the same time, if you want to win as a team, multiple people have to work in the court, off the court, on the court. So it's like you kind of not drag others along, but you get others to do what you're doing if you're doing the right thing in terms of getting extra work in on the court and off the court. So it's like once you do that, it's like everyone's on the same page and everything's going in the right direction. But
Would
like,
you? Oh,
what you saying? Now go ahead.
I was gonna say like how you feel like you've grown, you've matured in this year? Because I feel like my freshman year, I grew.
Yeah, of course. I feel
immensely, like a whole new man, right?
Yeah, for real. That's how I feel for real.
Explain your mindset coming in, how different it was. Like when you coming in, like mindset wise, like what grew, what made you open up your eyes? Like what was it?
Well, first of all, at high school, well, basketball wise, like the size of the players, like we have Oscar, we got 7-footers with us. People like we got big men. So it's like high school, you have like the big men probably like 6'6", 6'7".
Exactly.
And you playing with 7-footers now, so physically you have to adapt to the players that you're playing against. And it's like mentally as well, people try to get in your head, especially playing other teams. But even on the practices and workouts, teammates trying to get in each other's head. So it's like you have to grow. Like you can't let the little things that you used to let get in your head back then. You have to mature in that aspect, or you won't grow. Because if you don't adapt to it, if you don't not necessarily retaliate, but retaliate in the right way, then you won't grow.
Yeah. What about you, X? Like coming in, how much have you grown? Like let's say you went to Ryder. So what was your mindset when you came into Ryder, and then when you came to FDU? How much did it grow? Would you?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was nowhere near as mature as Dev is now as a freshman when I was a freshman. You know what I'm saying?
That's respect.
Like, so like, everybody path is different though. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. 100%. 100%.
So my story is obviously different. But I feel like once I transferred and I had that redshirt year, that just, that gave me some time to, grow up for the times I missed, not being mature enough or whatever as a freshman and whatnot. Not really sticking through with the process. You want to rush everything, wanting everything now. That's what I was used to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like first team, all state, average 20 plus, The list goes on. Like coming to college, it humbles you like real fast.
I like that. And exactly to talk about like, your like capital like points in your career, what was like certain points that you kind of felt like you were at your lowest, and how were you able to overcome that? I mean, for instance, I'll talk about like Dev in the beginning of the season. I remember he had gotten injured, and early on, people were skeptical on his performance, how he's going to be after he was injured. But I was telling Ali before the podcast, he came in days after working with Mo and even by himself, and he was just draining shots. The minute he had the opportunity, he started just making everything in the games. And that's what, kind of, I felt like his performance was based off of that. Talk about, for both of you, what was your lowest points and how you were able to overcome it?
And injury. Go ahead, X.
Well, I had two lowest points actually. My first lowest point was Ryder. That whole entire year was just BS. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just messed with me mentally, messed with my confidence, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't seeing the floor as much, so I'm like second guessing myself. Now it's like, hold up, like you need to just relax. You know how to play basketball. I'm just in a tough situation right now, and I gotta, remove myself out of it. And then once I came to FDU, took a redshirt year. My first year playing, I had a great year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Probably averaged like 12. We went to the tournament. But as soon as the tournament came, I got hurt, got concussion. So I missed out on that whole party. Like I was there, but I wasn't really there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember that.
I felt like everybody was in my ear, like, bro, like you helped us get here. You was a key player, da-da-da. But it didn't feel like it because I'm sitting here on the bench watching y'all doing everything that, y'all didn't dream of. I didn't dream of. And the opportunity is here, and I can't even participate in it. So that was that plane ride. Well, those plane rides to Dayton, Utah, like it was real hard for me because everybody was happy and like I was happy too, but it was a part of me inside of me that was like,
of course, it's not the same. It's not the same.
So I was like, I kind of distanced. Like I was a little distant, like towards people like on those trips, like a little bit. But I got through it. I guess everything happens for a reason. So I got one more crack at it. So we about to run it back.
So
New year. Got my young boy dad with me. It's definitely about to be a movie. So
of course.
Yeah.
No, like you said, Sal, that injury. Man, that injury was definitely a low point for real. It was hard because, like you were saying, like I guess I was playing pretty decent before I got hurt. But like you said, like people were saying,
skeptical.
yes, you're gonna exactly. People were being skeptical, and it's like that kind of gives me at the same time, it gives me an edge. Like it makes you want to grind harder. And even though I was hurt, I was trying to do what I could, like trying to lift or whatever. But as soon as I came back, I just had that mindset, kind of had a vision, like, yeah, some people may want to see me do bad. Some people may want to see me do good. But I just had the vision myself, like, I had to, like, stay humble, keep grinding, like, stay in the gym. As soon as I got back, I was in the gym as much as I could be. And I mean, I could say it paid off because I stayed humble and I kept that vision. Like, I really tried to not get sidetracked from what people were saying or this, that, and the third. But just staying humble, trusting the process for real is going to get you a long way.
Dev, so tell me about when you won that Rookie of the Year, bro, and you got that news. What was that feeling, man?
So,
Talk to
I came, I think I came, well, I don't even know where I was for real, but I had came in the gym and, wait, I don't even know, let me think about that. I don't even know where I was. Oh, no, that was after the season. So, yeah, I think I was just in the car or something, and I had seen it, and I, like, got a whole bunch of notifications, and honestly, I was proud of myself. I didn't get Rookie of the Year. I got first team,
yeah.
conference rookie. Yeah.
First team.
I was aiming for that Rookie of the Year, but I mean the injury and all that.
Rookie team, right?
Yeah.
The all NEC rookie team, yeah.
Yeah, only see rookie team. My fault.
No, that's cool. So yeah, I was trying to get the Rookie of the Year, but
You should have got it, but we ain't. You know what I'm saying?
It's
we
cool,
ain't
It's cool.
Exactly.
The whole awards thing, it's biased. I mean, because it's the same thing with X. Exactly.
I got gypped.
Exactly. So it was cool though. I'm not gonna lie, it was cool. Like at least somebody has seen what I was doing. It was like the conference has seen what I was doing. It wasn't like the ultimate goal, but I mean, it was cool. Getting acknowledged, it was cool, and like, all the hard work, I guess, it paid off individually. As a team, we didn't get our goal. We didn't complete our goal, so that was that. But individually, it felt good. Like I know that all those nights being in the gym, like even though I didn't get the Rookie of the Year, I had gotten the award, so it was cool. It was humbling though, just knowing that others are seeing what I'm doing.
That's definitely what it is. Yo, X, I have a question for you, bro. I've always played basketball, but I can never dunk. Like, how the hell you got those bounds, bro? Like, I got bigger legs than you, but your legs crazy. Bro, you see his legs, bro?
I have a crazy story with that. So you guys know my past. You know, when I first came to the school, you know, I was more of just like a student on campus and then going back home. But my first real job was, you know, being the mascot for the team. And that was, you know, my first role into earning scholarships and, you know, really supporting myself and, of course, my family to not have loans. And the second year we come back, you know, it was the tip-off night. X tells me to come over here. I'm like, what's going on? I'm in the costume. I'm like drenched. Like I can't breathe, all that. And he tells me, come over here, just stand over there. I'm like, oh my God, is this guy going to actually dunk over me? I was like, is this going to be like a Blake Griffin jumping over the Kia? I was like, what's going on? This man, first off, I'm like shaking, right? Your head's like this, flies over me. I'm like, holy crap, you just did that. I couldn't believe it because no kid in my high school could dunk. I was telling this in the last episode. Everyone was like short like me and just layups and threes. So X, yeah, talk about like how you were able to get this vert and like how were you able to practice with it?
I couldn't even really tell you.
I couldn't believe it. I swear to God, I couldn't believe it.
Like obviously, like we work out on a daily basis, do a lot of running, but most of this is genetics, bro. Like you can't work for this. Like I ain't being cocky or nothing. Like it's just like
true.
Absolutely, you're being real.
Some people are just built certain ways, and they just could do certain things naturally. Like I always was like really athletic. I was always probably the most athletic out of the groups and the teams that I was on. Like since like I first started dunking like 7th grade or something like that. 7th or 8th grade. Like I was flushing it by like 8th grade. I was flushing that jump. But
That's crazy.
and then, you know, as I grew up, I started developing more game though. Like I started getting a game. So it's like I wasn't just a dunker, you know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
now just putting 2 and 2 together, you know, I'm gonna just run with it as much as I can, but I hope my knees could keep up with all this because after a while,
Yeah, old.
Dev know about them knees, man.
Yeah, you gotta
You're
stay in
seeing
that,
it
stay in
too.
that trainer. You gotta stay in that training room.
That boy is a heavy. You be wearing the bands.
Yeah, the little K tape. I be having the K tape on my
Always with the trainer too.
The train. That's crazy. How like isn't it so important to take care of your body in college? Like in high school, when did we ever like really do all that extras?
Never. I never would stretch, bro. Like I just go hoop. I would never stretch. Like I'm like stretching. What's that? I'm trying to play basketball. Y'all want to stretch? Y'all think it's yoga and stuff. Like I'm trying to hoop. Like, but
Exactly. Or even get taped up. Every practice, you guys gotta get taped up or whatever.
Yeah, for real.
Make sure.
Now more than ever. As soon as I got to school, man, after the first couple practices, my body be hurting. It's like if you don't treat it, it's gonna catch you in the long run.
What do you think that is? Do you think it's because we're getting older, or do you think we're?
It's just the stress. It's probably just the stress on your body, just so much. Especially in college, we have a certain amount of hours we can work out, and they work it to the limit. So them hard workouts back to back to back, day after day. It's like if you don't take care of your body, it's gonna catch up to you.
So talk to me about a senior coming in. Like a senior coming in, what's the number one advice you give to him right away coming in, or a young kid in high school that you would have wanted them to ask you or tell you coming in? Like, what's one piece of advice you could be like, this is what I think you should do coming in, or what mindset you should have when you're coming in?
Honestly, just you gotta stay hungry and stay humble and if you stay hungry, stay humble, you stay in the gym, your time gonna come. Like, obviously, when you come in, anybody who comes into a college or any type of team, you want to play instantly. You want minutes instantly.
Very true.
And half of the time, it's not going to happen like that. So it's like you got to grind for it. You got to work for it because it's not everything. In high school, everything is less talent, of course, on the team. So things may come to you easier. You don't have to work as hard for stuff. But, like, man, in college, there's people fighting for minutes. There's people fighting for this, that. So it's like if you're not getting it right away, you just got to keep working, keep at it. And eventually, if you're doing the right thing, it'll come.
What you think, X? Piece of advice you give a senior, a young bull, like you would say. What would you tell the young bull?
I got game for all the youngins, man. Nah, but a senior coming in, going in, a upcoming senior in high school, right?
Yeah. A senior coming into college. What would you tell him? What would you tell yourself if you could give yourself an advice?
That's a good question.
Oh, if I could rewind back and do it all over again?
If you talked to your senior self right now, looked at yourself in the mirror and realized how ugly you were. I mean, how like if you could tell him one thing, what would it be?
Hold up, I'm looking like a John. I ain't gonna hold you. I got tats.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm 6'4" with a ratchet. Like,
all right,
on a serious note, though, I would say, upcoming senior, treat every practice like it's your last because, especially if you were unsigned senior, you don't have nowhere to go to school. Like, you need to be at them boys on your team, your opponents. Like it's like wolves. Like when they hungry, you gotta eat. Like you know what I'm saying, you don't want your parents struggling trying to pay for college and things like that. Like so, if you're an upcoming unsigned senior, my advice to you is if you need to do something that involves your craft at least every day of the week. You know what I'm saying? At least during the week to get you right and get you prepared mentally. Like because if you unsigned, you're like at the moment you got to pay for school, so you already in the shitter if you want to be real. Like so.
Tell me, to add to what you're saying, right? Add that to education. How much would you say to take that serious to young people? Because when I came in, I'd said it prior, like I wasn't really understanding what education was. I came here to play ball. You get what I'm saying? Like How has that changed? Like how did you focus? Like, all right, I got to get my schoolwork done. But then I'm like, how did you transfer that mind over there? Like, tell your young self.
Like honestly, like I ain't really take school that serious in high school, like because I just wanted to hoop, like But
like most,
I also had to get a certain score to be eligible to play my freshman year of college. So like those SATs was critical for me, like those SATs and a certain GPA. So like I would just say like treat the basketball just like the same thing as your education, because they both gonna go hand in hand at the end of the day.
Facts. Very true.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're gonna be a college athlete, NCAA. They have to go hand in hand. You ain't gonna play.
Very true.
You're not gonna touch the floor.
It's a fact.
You're on that sideline with a book in your hand.
Basically.
Can't practice. You might gotta sit up in the stratus and watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, let have a couple of us. You know what I'm saying? Get like that.
What about you? Like coming in, did you expect education to be this difficult or this rigorous? Like, what would you say?
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. In high school, I went to a private high school. I went to like an ex-military, like ex all-boy military high school. So they enforce like academics like that. Like you couldn't play, or if your teachers or any of your counselors or anything had something to say, you couldn't play. Like, so that was kind of instilled in me in high school. So I mean, it was kind of easy to transition from high school to college. It was kind of easy because it was drilled in my mind in high school. So, but the work, it was more time management because in college you have time, you have the whole day. When you're not hooping, you have the whole day. I mean, besides classes, and when you're not hooping, you have all day to decide what you're gonna do in terms of study hall. You're gonna do your work, or you're gonna do your homework. So it's like you just gotta spend your time wisely, and you gotta take academics important because if you don't, like X said, you're gonna be on the sideline. And that's the worst place you could be.
To bring it back, I kind of want to start it off on why you guys chose the sport of basketball. So my question would be who or what inspired you to choose that sport and to have it as it is what it is right now, being D1 athletes. Who inspired you?
I mean, honestly, like when I came to the high school I went to, I came to that high school for football. I used to play football. So I went to high school for football, honestly, but I always played football. Yeah, but I played football and basketball ever since I was like 5 for real. So I always had love for both sports. But when I got to high school, it was like the high school I went to, every year we were probably like top 10 in the country, top 10, top 25 at least. Wow. So it was kind of, and we had a good football program. So it was like, man, football is all year round. But it's like you can't play football and basketball all year round because your body, that's not how your body's gonna work.
That's brilliant.
Like my sophomore year, I had to choose basketball because that's the game that I love more. I mean, I was good at football, but I think basketball, I just had the love for it. So that love just like to this day, the love for the game has just took me this far, and it's like I still got love for it. So I feel like I could take me even further.
Was there a certain athlete that when you were watching it on TV, like the NBA, was there a certain athlete that you were like, wow, like I want to be like him or whatever?
I ain't gonna lie. This might sound crazy, but I was a heavy like Manu Ginobili type of ball. Like
really?
Yeah.
Explain that.
Manu Ginobili used to be my favorite player.
Mm-hmm. I used to love Chris Tucker.
You said who?
You said who?
Who?
Is that a basketball player, Chris Tucker?
It's a comedian. It's a comedian.
Oh, my fault.
Time you on?
Wait, so Manu Ginobili, of all people, like MJ, Kobe, why Manu Ginobili?
I don't know.
He's lefty.
I'm not gonna lie. As y'all know, like I'm a little different anyway. Like just as a person. Like,
I just want to hear the perspective.
So like, I was never a type to like ride waves. Like I always kind of wanted to stand out some way. Like I don't know why, but that's just how I am. So I'm like I need to. Like I loved his game, and I'm like,
very underrated.
He don't get enough love because he's labeled as a 6 man. He could easily start. He could have easily started for any team in the NBA. Like,
for sure.
Not a problem. He just that's just the lane he just wanted to stay in. I kind of admired that. Like I loved his game. Yeah.
X's
Like,
perspective, he was like, Manu Ginobili stuck out to him as an NBA athlete.
Mhm.
Did you have anything, like an inspiration from an athlete similarly?
Like X said, like we was talking about LeBron, he always been like the best player. I mean, just because he can do everything, he can
Like
score,
all
he can
around.
pass,
Okay.
exactly. So,
bro, he played 5
but
positions, bro. Like,
exactly.
fair, yo. Like,
But I mean, me being I'm obviously not LeBron's size, so I'm obviously not his build. So,
Of course.
but a player who always stuck out to me is Damian Lillard. Like he
Very
really wasn't
underrated.
he wasn't exactly. He wasn't always on the front page. Like he didn't go to the biggest college. He just all he did for real, the biggest thing I took from him, he just stayed humble. He grinded where he was at, and he just got the best. Like obviously now you could argue he's arguably the second best point guard in the NBA right now, but behind Steph. But back to what I was saying, he was an underdog for real. And if you look at him now, man, he's one of the top 10 players in the league. He's doing his thing. So it's like, I mean, the thing I got from him was just staying humble and just sticking to your craft and just keep grinding. I mean, I feel like if you do that, you'll be straight.
Can I add one thing though? I want to hear from a basketball perspective. How did Steph Curry change the game for it? Like,
how did he change the game?
because you have to guard him as soon as he crossed the half court line.
Exactly.
He's extended basically the court. If you
Exactly.
watch 90s games, they're all about, driving in, it's in the paint, mid-range, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
Curry, big men especially, they've all now it's like beyond the arc.
They might as well make a 4-point line.
No, for real.
They weren't in talks about that yet.
Like, yo, like that's crazy, bro. Like how, like just imagine you playing against. Like I never played against them, obviously, but I couldn't imagine. Like as soon as somebody cross half court, you have to play defense. Like
Kevin Durant's the same thing too.
Like that's like that. Like what? And he's 7 foot, bro. Like he moved like a guard. Like
he is a guard.
That's crazy, yo. Like
to go back, so it's a good thing we're talking about, inspiration, motivation, and talking about your downfall. And now let's talk about like key moments of this I would say prior season that you will take into your futures. And for Devon, he was a freshman that he would take into the rest of his time in college. What were some like key games or moments in your season that stuck out to you the most and you loved?
Something you would tell to your kids.
Could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a lot of key moments, bro. Probably, I'd probably say, oh my gosh, yo, probably the Robert Morris game.
The Robert Morris game? I was
also
thinking of
at Robert Morris.
At Robert Morris, yeah.
That was one of my favorites ever.
I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy, bro. That was
controversial at the end, but it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. Does not even matter.
I ain't gonna lie, that drum was a movie. No
KB with the putback layup. He was dealing with back spasms. People forget this too. Like G, our coach, he was on everybody. Like everyone had to fill in a role at a prior moment. Devon had a huge 3 to put us back. I think it was like a 5-point game. He was cutting the lead for us. It was a crucial role he had to play. X was the guy that was driving in. If he didn't have the shot, he would, kick it out. KB played a huge role.
The Euro, it was like 20 seconds. 20 seconds, excuse me.
Exactly. And KB, just like his role in March Madness. No, that Euro was insane. But going back with KB, in March Madness, he had a crucial role with the putbacks. KB had that huge putback. What was going through everyone's mind in your minds when that happened? Coming back from down.
Remember when we talked about it? Because the putback came from Jalil, bro.
Jalil, yes, with the floater.
He scared me. He really scared me.
He went down there. He tried to shoot over like 3 people. I'm like, no. And then KB come out of nowhere like Batman. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
That is so true.
I'm like, I ain't no guy, bro.
Can you guys explain? Hold on, before you guys say anything, explain that moment. Like, isn't it crazy in sports how everything just slows down in that moment in time?
Yeah.
I'm like how? Like
I think
spasms and you flying like Batman.
Nah, for real.
Like that was crazy. That also like hard work, dedication with a little bit of luck goes a long way.
For
So,
sure.
Yeah.
For
Very
sure.
true.
we got
That Brian game was crazy though.
So
Yeah.
that was, you would say that was yours?
Yeah, the one at home when we played Brian, man, we were winning for 10 seconds the whole game.
True.
The last 10 seconds.
The last 10 seconds, yeah.
And that's all that matters though, for real. But it was like, man, we were down, what were we down, like 8? Man, I
That
think
was crazy.
Even more.
I had like an and one layup. Then X came
Huge.
down, hit a 3. Man, then we got to stop. I think I got a steal. Then I got another and one. It was like all that in like, what was it, like a matter of like a minute. Now we tied
Everything
game.
was flying by. And then
Exactly.
Jalil has that
And
360
then Lil
layup.
has a 360 layup, and then it's like we up. So it was like that last possession. It was like, let's do or die. We either get the stop or we did all that for nothing because we were down the whole game. Everybody probably thought we were going to lose. Man, that last minute of the game was real crucial. Everybody stepped up, and man, we got that game. Just kind of made me feel like we could
Really
go far. Exactly.
With those type of games, especially with Robert Morris, sorry to cut you off. I'll let you talk right now.
No. Do your thing, bro.
But what I felt the most, and you know me, I joined in the second half of the season as the head manager. What stuck out the most was that these were games that showed how much unity we have. To be able to come back, even, it was a horrible loss. It was gut-wrenching that we lost to LIU in the playoff. But that game just showed how much potential we will have in the playoffs for next season. We came back down 21 points. My parents were watching it on TV. They were just like, we thought it was an NBA game. Like LeBron and the Cavs were coming back, 3-1 down. That's how it was. You guys came back. You didn't give up. That's the mentality of FDU basketball, I would say. They have so much heart. So to hear those moments, it's awesome.
I just think they have so much heart because they believe in each other. Like, you guys are so close that it's amazing. Like, it's a brotherhood. Like, I feel part of your team, honestly, truly. It's like you guys are a real brotherhood. Like, how is that even possible? How do you guys stay so close with each other? Like, that's amazing.
Off the court.
Good question.
Like, how?
You already know, on the court, we always practices and lifts and whatnot. So on the court, of course, you got to be around each other. But like off the court, man, 9 times out of 10, if I'm not by myself, I'm with them. So it's like, it's not. What you want to say?
No, I was gonna say, because you know how basketball you compete a lot. So how do you guys stay like? Because even when I play pickup basketball here, and the 40-year-old checks me like I'm squaring up. You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting with the 2-piece and a soda. So I'm saying, how does that not happen? And like, how do you guys not take that outside?
Oh no, we compete. We definitely compete on the court. Man, we got one-on-one battles. We be competing. It's like, but off the court, like we just click. Like we just be having. We make sure we enjoy ourselves, even though like basketball, we gotta lock in. We used to be enjoying ourselves.
Yeah. How competitive would you say those preseason either workouts, drills, and even the pickup games? How competitive would you say those are? Because I remember when I came in the gym, you guys had me just like watch or whatever, and I remember X was just talking with B Rush. He was just like talking back and forth. Talk about the competitiveness, like what that's all about.
I was.
Nah,
Come on, X. When aren't you talking, X?
I remember X.
When aren't you talking, X?
X was like, he can't guard me or whatever. I remember I was like, damn.
Was it in the beginning of the school year?
Yeah, preseason. I'm
saying.
saying.
It was preseason.
Obviously, I gotta let young boy. You know what I'm saying that's little bro.
So you basically have to make them earn their stripes. You would say.
I mean, that's how I go. Like that's how it was for me.
That's how it is for me.
I had the upperclassmen talking crazy to me, yo. Like stuff I can't even say on this drum, but yeah, like it get like that, bro. Like you want to see where they heart at, bro. It happened.
Nah, for real.
That's how I go. Like,
but that's how you grow though, for real.
Yeah, and you survive in the jungle. You valid. Simple as that.
How do you like? Go.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say how do you earn your stripes? Like, what do you need to do? How do you know X? Since you're the OG, in this John. How do you make people win their stripes in the John? You know what I'm saying?
You drawn, yo. I mean, you just go at them and see if they gonna respond. That's all. Because if they show signs of not responding, then you know going to war with that particular person might not be it. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to be real.
That's deep.
Like I need all my guys 10 toes down, like ready to go to war.
Let us know, X.
If you ain't gonna go to war with me, you know me. You know this ain't nothing personal. But what you gonna do against somebody who you don't know from a can of paint? That's trying.
No, for real.
That's very similar.
Trying to feed their family. You know what I'm saying? Like
I was gonna say that's very similar. I was watching a lot of like Kobe Bryant motivational videos. He was saying that he's like, come on my team if you want to win. Go somewhere else if you're not having that same mentality. Like you have that killer instinct, basically. That's how you got to stick with it. And I think that's very good to inspire for the young athletes that are coming up.
How do you feel about Michael Jordan saying that in the documentary, though, that he used to go out at his teammates? Do you feel like you would be able to handle that? Or is it like, oh, I couldn't be on that team like that? Like, how would you think you would respond to that? Like,
I'm out of smoke, bro. For real.
That's how it gotta be.
I would love to have some. Like I would love to follow someone like Michael Jordan because that'll do nothing but like it make me
get you better.
It make me want to be a monster. Like he was different, like a different individual, bro. Like
he was.
He competed. He wanted to compete in every single aspect in life.
Anything.
That's
gambling,
sick,
anything.
You saw the coin? You saw the coin thing that he was doing with the.
Yeah, the guy was like, yeah.
Yeah, he would take like little subliminal messages to heart and be like, okay,
yeah,
use that as more like what, bro? Like that's sick, yo.
That's crazy.
That was his mentality, man. It's crazy.
That's crazy, bro.
I do want to segue into that documentary, but before that, let's do a little icebreaker. What's your go-to, you would say, artist or music when you're in the locker room before a game? Just for fans at home watching.
Oh, Britney Spears.
Hey, X.
I want to hear that, yo.
Hey, X, you already know. Ooh.
So let me hear it.
You already know.
Devin, who you got?
Hey, nah. Personally, if I'm by my lonely little baby, give me my group. But me and X know that Key Glock go crazy. Me and X both know that.
Oh, hold on. Wait. He be
spazzing. Nah. He be getting me and X right when we in the training room before the game getting taped up.
How about you, X? This man's got it up.
I
can't.
He's going crazy, bro.
Nah,
My journal, like before a game. What I got in this genre, bro? I had a
PG.
Be careful. Don't play it on here because they might take us down for copyright.
Might strike us. Who knows?
I ain't gonna play it, but I had a game playlist that what song I had in there, bro? I had Meek Mill Glow Up. That I used to listen to that like before every game. Okay. I gotta keep it Philly. Like I got to. Like no matter where I'm at. Like so Meek Mill used to get me in my bag.
How do you like add to the Philly part? Like how do you feel like when you're playing? Do you feel like you're giving back to your city? You're playing for your city, you're representing Philly when you play?
That question could apply for Dev too, Washington, D.C.
Sure.
Let me know.
You guys feel that?
Once the game over, if whether you had a good game or not, your phone be going off, Instagram, watching me on TV, stuff like that. Like it just make me feel good. Like I'm doing something good for myself and for my people back home. Ain't nothing like it. Like ain't no better feeling in the world. Like
especially because us two. I mean, it's other people on our team who from their respective cities, but like us two coming from, we city kids for real, and it's like we the only people on the team from those areas. I mean, actually, yeah.
Your kid coming up now. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. He not from. He's from Florida for real, but he went to school. He went to high school in DC or whatever. So he went to my school. So, but I mean, like being the only person, me and X especially, we city kids. We coming from the heart of the city. So
city life is different, like than growing up in the. You know what I'm saying? I transferred to a suburban school, 11th grade, but from anywhere before 11th grade school, all that, I was in the city. I was in the hood in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
It make you different. It make you respond different than an average person with a different situation.
It was the different things. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
At a younger age, like I grew up kind of fast and sheltered at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like my mom, great foundation, but I wasn't with her 24/7. So when I would go outside to play here and there, it was just some stuff that just wasn't. I shouldn't have been around. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like this is how it is growing up.
That you can't control. Exactly.
Yeah, I can't control it, but
where did you guys gain your confidence from? Like where did it start? What age? Because I know I mean, since I was 4 years old and I came to this country, it was like I had to be confident to really survive. So where did you guys get your confidence from?
Playing like I don't know, playing in the city. I don't know if
Yeah,
y'all heard, but like it's this league down North Philly. I used to play in this league down North Philly. You know, North Philly is the trenches. Like
yeah.
it's brazy down there. Like I used to play in this league. Me, my boy DeAndre Hunter that played for the Hawks. We grew up down there. We had to play in the Hank Gather's league. We used to always play against each other. Me, DeAndre Hunter, Tony Carr, uh, Deron Russell. Like we just always playing against each other growing up. And that league is crazy. Like every time you shoot, so it's like really like kind of like standing room. It's a small gym. So every time you shoot a ball, it's people on the side that go, ooh.
So
Like
like
they
a little
all,
bit
it's
like
like
Dykeman, like
yeah,
Dykeman Park.
like it's kind of like an
Yeah.
intimidation. It's an intimidation factor. You know what I'm saying? So every
Mhm.
time you shoot it, they go ooh, and if you miss, they going crazy, yo. Like it's like, and mind you, I
You
was
gotta
only,
make it.
mind you,
Yeah,
back
for
then I
real.
was like 12, 13 years old. I'm
That's
like,
crazy. That's crazy.
like it's crazy down here, bro. Like, but yeah, that's what
That's
you do
nuts.
though.
So
Definitely.
true. So true.
I
to
think
segue to segue now. Oh, my fault.
no.
Go.
Would you?
No, you were gonna talk about like where you were
Oh
able
yeah.
to. Yeah.
Honestly, I ain't even gonna lie. Like when I was younger, for real, I always used to hesitate. I used to second guess on myself for real. Up until I got to like what was it,
That's the
like
worst thing for
11th,
an
12th
athlete.
grade.
Second guessing.
Exactly, exactly.
Yep.
And I learned it was
Worst
bad because
thing.
it was messing with my confidence. It was messing with me mentally. But like after I guess 11th, 12th grade, I got my confidence. I knew what I could do. I knew what I was capable of. Just playing, like going to the course in the city, or even just playing like high school, AAU, all that stuff. Just different backgrounds when you play. Like all the combinations of that just it helped build up the confidence. And ever since then, like I ain't never second guessed myself. Like,
Sucks second guess, man. In baseball,
yeah,
that's the difference from basketball and baseball. I feel like you know how much time we have to think, bro. There's so much time to think and like second guess yourself. But in basketball,
man.
it's almost like the minute the
Just
game
like that,
starts,
yeah.
go. You
You
know
gotta
what I'm
lock in. Yeah.
saying? Lock in, man.
For real.
That's one thing, damn.
What I was gonna segue into now to cap off this. This has been a phenomenal interview with you guys. I wanted to hear your perspectives from the big documentary that's everyone's talking about, especially in the basketball world with The Last Dance. What were your perspectives from that? We can start off with X.
Um, uh, I don't know, like more like I don't know, like Michael Jordan, like his like whole like mentality, kind of dropped some gems off to me, like going into this senior year, like how to carry myself certain ways, certain situations and whatnot, being a leader, like even vocally, because I ain't the most vocal person, but I try to lead by example as much as I can. But just like wanting more out of your teammates, like what he would instill into his teammates, like I definitely want to work on that, like with my teammates. You know what I'm saying? Especially the younger ones, the freshmen that's coming in. Like we gotta get them early. Let them know, like y'all gotta hop on shit now because we need everybody to be bought in. If everybody ain't bought in, if one person is out of the loop, that's gonna mess up the whole thing we got going. You know what I'm saying?
A fact.
It get
Facts.
that critical, especially during the final stretch going into the playoffs. Like you need everybody on the P's and Q's because that's what it takes to win, like at that level. And if you want to make it to the March Madness.
He
So,
definitely changed our generation for sure. Like,
For sure.
and we never got to see him play. So for the first time, we have like the platform to see Michael Jordan play, and his mindset was like, whoa, like real life situation. So,
How
what about
about
you,
you,
Dev?
Devin?
Man, honestly, I don't think. I mean, besides Kobe, because Kobe was the most similar being to MJ, but just the way he carries himself, like the way he carries himself and the way he brings others along with him. That's the biggest thing that I took from. But basically, I mean, yeah, he's different. He was great. He's great, so he can talk to people certain ways. But now in this time, like we all college hoopers, so it's like we can't talk to. Of course, you disrespect some people, but we can't. I mean, that's how I get sometimes. But at the same time, it's more about just making sure others are on board with you. And even though some people aren't vocal leaders, like sometimes it takes that. Even though one might not be a vocal leader, you have to step out of your body and make sure we all on the same page. Because like X said, that last stretch of the season, if everybody ain't on board, man, it's gonna hurt you in the long run. If everybody ain't on the same page, You're not going to complete that goal at all. As much as you think that you're going to say, yeah, that one person not here, man, like, forget about him.
You need everybody, even down
Exactly.
to the players that ain't playing that much.
Exactly.
Even just that support, like,
Uh-huh.
you understand, like you just need that support from even the players that's not playing as much, hoping that they got in their mind that if I get this opportunity, I'm ready. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody go down, next man up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's amazing to hear Devin speak like that because he's such a rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you ask yourself, like, oh, geez, I mean, I'm getting old. I'm going to be a senior this year. It's like, to hear you talk like that, bro, I mean, I feel like FDU basketball is definitely in the right hands. And I feel like they're going to pass the torch after these guys leave. Like, you know, you have to be the leader. And it's dope to hear you with this mindset, this winning attitude. The fact that you guys made it to playoffs and did what you did, I feel like it's going to trickle down. And it's going to add to the guys coming in. So that's dope. I feel like that's amazing, man. That's for real.
Definitely will. But that's the mindset. If you want to get a lot done, because everybody ain't going to be great, but it's like if you want to perform to your best ability as a team, that's the mindset you got to have. You got to always think like you have to make the best out of everything. Because there's going to be some low moments. Always. It's always going to be low moments. But
there's no stories without that.
Exactly. But you just got to stay. First of all, you just gotta stay humble. Just stay hungry always.
And that's the foundation of this podcast, for real.
Uh-huh.
It's just the mindset thing. How much you've grown. Like, to see a freshman speak the way you're speaking, bro, is without a doubt amazing, and makes me feel good knowing that FDU athletics is definitely gonna do fine with you there. And
you got a bright future for sure.
Man, I'm excited for next year, for real. Man, I'm excited for next year.
They're gonna run it back, ladies and gentlemen.
Man, actually gonna be a movie, bro. It's gonna be a movie.
Listen, I want to thank both of you for coming on our podcast, The Final Two. It was a pleasure, man. We loved hearing the stories. And again, like, this is to inspire the youth, and they will definitely take something out of this episode, for real. So again, thank you for watching. This was The Final Two.
This is Devin.
Yes, sir.